Hey y'all, welcome back to Memaw's house, where we're eating good food, sharing good times, and we hope you enjoy your stay. Let's get to cooking. Here are the ingredients that we'll be using for our shrimp and crab Alfredo bake. We, of course, have some fresh veggies, our garlic, our onion, and I'm using baby spinach and a baby kale mix, but you can use just fresh spinach. You can take the spinach out, whatever you prefer. And of course, for our seafood, we're using the shrimp and the crab. I'm using canned crab, and then all the seasonings. For the sauce, I'm going to use heavy whipping cream, carnation evaporated milk, butter, and 3 different types of cheeses. And of course, I'll leave all the ingredients down in the description box. So, now let's go ahead and get our shrimp all marinated. And this really is just a dry rub for the shrimp. And of course, we don't rub it like we do red meat, but we can put the dry seasonings on and we'll mix and let them sit for a minute to let some of those flavors seep into the shrimp. And of course, y'all know that I'm seasoning this with love, and I will try to get as close to as possible to my measurements in the description box. We'll figure it out. Now, before I start seasoning my shrimp, I went ahead and started a pot of water, put that on the stove so that it could boil to make my linguine. So that's over on the stove boiling, and now I have all the seasonings in the shrimp. I'm going to let that sit. We'll get some olive oil in my heavy bottom skillet so that we can start making the sauce. I'll let this heat slightly, and then I'll go ahead and add my chopped veggies. I've already chopped up my green onion, my white onion, and my garlic. So we'll go ahead and saute these for just a few seconds and then start to add the other ingredients. Now we've sauteed these well, and now we're going to add some butter. You know everything is better with butter. I'm not the first one to say that and won't be the last, but it is always better when you add a little flavor. Now, if you don't like the butter and you don't want butter, you got high cholesterol or whatever the doctor told you, go ahead and omit the butter. That's just fine. We're going to let this butter melt, and then we'll add our heavy whipping cream. The heavy whipping cream will cook down, so I'm adding almost the whole quart because I didn't have quite a whole quart. So it's about 2, maybe 2.5 cups of heavy whipping cream that I've just added. And to that, I'm going to add some evaporated milk, 1/4 cup of evaporated milk. Now that we've given that a good stir, let's go ahead and add a little bit of seasoning to our heavy whipping cream and our mixture. And we'll add the Lowry's and black pepper, which are 2 of the seasonings that we use to season our shrimp. But since our shrimp already has so much seasoning on it, we don't have to do too much to our cream sauce because the shrimp will come in and help with that seasoning. So let's give this a stir, and then we're going to shred our cheese and get our cheese added. Now I'm going to wait for this to come to a rolling boil, and in the meanwhile, I've shredded my cheese because you've seen me shred cheese before, and I'm going to add the cheese to this boiling liquid so that it can melt and make a nice thick sauce. Now that that cheese has melted, we're going to go ahead and add our cleaned spinach and baby kale. Baby spinach, baby kale. Not that it matters. It's all tender and delicious. So let's let this cook down for about 5 to 10 minutes. Then we'll add our cheddar cheese. And I really don't know why I always add my cheddar cheese last, but I just do. And you can add it now if you want to, but I like to add the cheddar cheese last, just because. And y'all see, I got my little sous chef, Ari, who's been in here washing her hands and cutting up veggies and helping out a whole lot. So she's in here now helping me by getting the cheese. I need maybe 4 hands sometimes, and she's a good set of hands for me. Now let's go ahead and add our shrimp. Now the shrimp is raw, but it will cook as it, shrimp doesn't take long to cook. So it will cook while it is being simmering in this beautiful sauce. So let this cook, let the flavors meld together, and then we'll get our crab meat added. Now the sauce is thickened, but it's not as thick as it can be. I want it to be just a little on the thin side because we're going to bake this in an oven for about 15 to 20 minutes to let the cheeses melt and do the thing. And that sauce is going to get a little bit thicker on the noodles, and it's going to coat the noodles beautifully. So don't worry if your sauce is not good and thick like your normal Alfredo sauce. It will get thickened and it will be beautiful. Now I just pulled that shrimp out just to look at it to make sure that it was all getting done, and it is nice and pink. Let me just show you one. This is what that should actually look like. That shrimp is curling up and is pink. Now I have drained my linguine noodles, and I have prepared my 9 by 9 inch pan. I just sprayed it with some Pam so that it won't stick. And I'm going to go ahead and add my noodles to the pan and then get the sauce in with the noodles. But I got to clean up first because I can't stand all this stuff laying around on the stove. So let's get this wiped up, and then we'll assemble our dish. Okay, let's go ahead and spoon our sauce over our noodles. Now I'm going to put enough sauce into this pan to cover the noodles to make sure that there is sauce throughout all of the noodles. Now I'm going to go ahead, because I didn't grate enough cheese before, I'm going to go ahead and grate some more cheese right on top of my linguine and sauce. And then we'll get it into a 350-degree oven and let it bubble. It will be in the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes or until all of the sauce starts to bubble and the cheese begins to brown. In the meanwhile, I made some breadsticks, and I'm going to show y'all what I did with that. You see that burnt one back up in there? Forget him. He was just a test dummy. He didn't pan out too well. Anyway, I have my linguine all ready, and it has browned, and it is beautiful. And here is the end result, and my guest really enjoyed it. This was her birthday dinner. Made her 2 types of pasta bakes and some breadsticks, a salad, and some brownies. And there's another video on the brownie, the peanut butter brownie. And I hope y'all enjoyed today's video. Here are a couple more videos and a playlist for you to enjoy while I upload the next one. If you haven't already subscribed, please feel free to do so. We'd love to have you over here at Memaw's house. Y'all be blessed. Bye.